Welcome students, class 5th, subject English, topic Count Your Garden. So children, have a look at this picture. What do you see in this picture? Yes, it is a beautiful garden. There are so many trees, different type of colorful flowers are there in the garden. Garden is where we plant different type of trees. It is usually a piece of land that is used for growing flowers, trees, shrubs and other plants. So children, it is basically an act of caring for a garden by watering the flowers and plants. So similar to this, we are going to study a poem, Count Your Garden. Count your garden. Count your garden by the flowers, never by the leaves that fall. Count your days by golden hours, don't remember clouds at all. Count the nights by stars, not shadows. Count your life by smiles, not tears. And with joy on every birthday, count your age by friends, not years. Let us begin with the poem and study it stanza wise. I will be reading the poem first and then I will be explaining stanza wise. Count your garden by the flowers, never by the leaves that fall. Count your days by golden hours, don't remember clouds at all. So children, in this stanzas, the first two lines tell us that you should always be thankful for whatever things you have, and you should never sit and cry for the past or the mistakes that you have done, and for the things which you have lost in your life. Whatever things we have with us, we should value them and learn from our mistakes. We should know the worth of all the things that we have and we should value them. We should value all the things which we are having. The next two lines tells us that we must count all the happy days and the precious things in your life instead of remembering all the sad moments or all the sad things, and try to recollect all the happy and cheerful moments that you have spent with your loved ones. You should count your days by golden hours, that is the time of daytime after sunrise or before sunset, when sun is higher in the sky and there are no shadows because the sun has set. And we should forget all the difficulties and all the sorrows that you have experienced earlier, and you must always think positively and not take it in a negative way, and try to overcome the difficult times or all the difficult situations you are into by being positive and happy in life. So each day is very important to us, so we should Spend each day wisely and happily. Count the nights by stars, not shadows. Count your life by smiles, not tears. And with joy on every birthday, count your age by friends, not years. In this stanzas, the first two lines tells us that the stars indicate happiness, that is the good times, and shadows indicates sorrows, that is the bad times. So think about all the possibilities and not the difficulties, not the difficult times, and think about the courage that is built up in you and not about the fear. The value of your life will only increase if you remember the times when you have smiled and not when you are sad. So, children, we must not just waste time by being sad or by wasting our tears crying, but instead of that, think about all the happy times or think about all the possibilities. And sometimes we also think that things are impossible to do, but it will only be possible if you try it. So you should always try to make impossible things possible in a positive way and be happy in life. The next two lines tells us that it is said that life should be great and not long. So welcome your each birthday with joy and happiness and add many friends to your life. So children, many of you celebrate or like celebrating birthdays with your friends and family, and they come along and celebrate it together. So we should count our age by friends that we have spent and celebrated our birthdays with, and not by the years that have passed. We should not count our age by years, but by the friends that we are having in our life. And on every birthday, we should be joyful and thankful for the life God has given you. So children, now have a look at this picture. What do you see in this picture? Yes, there are two different emojis. One is a happy emoji and one is a sad emoji. So children, it is not going to happen that we are always happy in our life or we are always sad in our life. It is life, and sometimes we are happy and sometimes we are sad for some or the other reason. But some people in the world are always complaining. They always think about negative thoughts. They always be sad in life and don't look at the bright side of their life. They don't take things positively, and which is why they always be sad in life. So we must always learn to be happy in our life, and even though we are sad or even though we are in some difficult situation, we should try to think positively, and we should try to overcome the difficult situation by thinking positively and being happy in our life. We should not be unhappy and sad, but we should be happy, and we should not think about the bad or the sad days in our life, but think about the happy days in our life. Think about the good times you have spent with your loved ones. And by this, we get the message that the poet tells us that we must count all the good things that we have in our life and not the problems which we are facing in our life. And we must look at all the possible sides, all the positive things in our life and not the negativity. We should not be negative in our life, but rather we should think positively and be positive in our life rather than just being sad or worrying about the problems which we are facing. We must try to overcome the problems by being happy and being positive in our life. Classify the following things as happy and sad things. First one is flowers, falling leaves. Second one is golden hours, clouds. Third one is stars, shadows. Fourth one is smiles, tears. Fifth one is friends in your life, passing years. So children, you have to classify which are the happy things and which are the sad things, and accordingly you have to write down in the happy things or sad things column. So for example, the first one is flowers, falling leaves. So from this, which is the happy thing and which is the sad thing, you have to differentiate accordingly and write it down. Pick out two pairs of rhyming words from the poem. So children, you have to write down the rhyming words. You have to pick out two rhyming words from the poem and write it down. The next question is write 5 different types of flowers. So children, you have to write down the names of 5 different flowers. Write the answers to the following questions. So the first question is, how should you count the richness of your garden? So children, in the answer you have to write down by what is the richness of your garden counted. The second question is, how should you count your age? So children, by what is the age counted? How is the age counted? You have to write down in the answer. The third question is, what does the poet actually want to tell us? So children, what message do we get from this poem, and what the poet exactly is trying to express us, and what message is he trying to give us? You have to write it down in the answer. Frame sentences on the words given below. First one is golden hours and second one is troubles. So children, you have to frame sentences using these words. Quiz. So children, the questions are given along with the options. So you have to select the correct option, the correct answer, and write it down. The first one is, by what one should count a garden? The options are flowers, stones, thorns, plants. The second one is by what one should not count a garden. The options are roses, leaves that fall, violets, jasmines. The third one is by what one should count the days. The options are solar eclipse, fog, golden hours, snowfall. The fourth one is what one should not remember while counting days. The options are happy moments, sunshine, wind, clouds. Fifth one is by what one should count the nights. Options are sun, star, moon, galaxy. Sixth one is by what one should not count the nights. Options are shadows, lights, hours, clouds. Seventh one is by what one should count the life. Options are sorrows, gloom, smiles, doom. Eighth one is what one should have every birthday. Options are money, gold, silver, joy. So children, you have to select the right answers and write it down. Activity. Write down the good things that are there in your life. For example, you have good parents, you have a good home which you stay in. So children, some of the good things which are there in your life by which you get happiness or happy moments, you have to write it down. Thank you.